Hi guys, how you going? I'm just going to show you how, if you want to do your scale diagram in Google Sketchup, how you're going to do that. So the first thing is to open Google Sketchup. So if you do that, now you need to choose a template. Now probably the easiest template to choose will be the Google Earth Modelling in meters. So if you click that one there and start using SketchUp, it's a fairly intuitive program to use. Now, when you come in, you'll have a screen like this. You might even have a person there. So if you do have a person, just highlighting by clicking on there and then deleting. Alright, so now first thing I want you to do is to go to your camera view and go to the top view. Okay, so then you only got the two dimensions that we're looking at there. The other thing we want to do is make sure our the back screen is actually white. So if you go to Tools, into Windows, Styles, and you need to go down to, if you click into here, you go down to Straight Lines. Okay, and you want to click maybe on that one there. I think it's a pretty good one to do. Alright, so, and what you'll find if you do that, if you actually draw a line, that's about the thickness of the line that you'll get. So obviously if you draw a line, you can get rid of that. Now if you haven't got this toolbar you can see here, what you'll need to do is go to View, Toolbars, and show the large toolbar, okay, which is pretty good. That's what you'll need to do. Now if I have my axes on, you can see that's the view. Let's do the first line that we can do. So and we'll put our toolbars on, our large one over here. Now there's a couple functions that you need to use. Now the first one that we're going to do is use our pencil over here, our line. So you can either press on that there, or you can just press L, and L will do that for you. So if we start from the center there as our point, and we drag this out along that line there, and see at the bottom of the screen there it says 4.16. If we type in say 12, enter, it will draw the line which is 12 meters long. Now I haven't clicked again here, so I'm just going to click back over there, and now I'm going to get rid of my axes. So you just see the line there. Now the idea is that would be one of our lines which is 12 meters long. Now let's say we have a line which is at an angle going up at 70 degrees. So if we've got our protractor, and I click my protractor by clicking over there, you see your protractor. Now what you have to do here is click at the end where you want to rotate it around, drag that along to the line, I click again, and then I drag up. Now I don't click again now, I just type in 70, enter. Okay, and what that will do, it will draw a line, from a guide line for me to draw my other line on here now. So now if I press L, it'll go back to the pencil. Now let's say my line going up here is in fact say 5 meters long. So let's just see how I've dragged it along the line there. I haven't clicked enter, I'm just going 5, enter, it will draw the line for me. Go back to your protractor, let's do another line here. So I click at the point where I want to rotate around, I click on my line, and I rotate around the direction I want to go, and let's say we want to go 85 degrees, enter. We'll do my line 85 degrees, press line, again I click it there, drag it on the line there, I haven't clicked, I now type in 10.5 meters, enter, and away it draws my line there for me. Go back to your protractor, right, draw my line, click on my line which you want to rotate around, type how far you want to rotate it. So let's go say 105 degrees, enter. Okay, see my line's been drawn, go for my line, and then I can make this one say let's say it's 8 meters long. Okay, so I've now drawn a shape which is fairly basic. Now if you got a mouse, you can scroll in and out using your wheel, and that will actually zoom it bigger and smaller. Now I want to get rid of these guidelines here, so if I click on those with my razor, they will delete all those lines there. Now if I want to connect my lines here, all I do is I go to my line and I can connect those things. So connect there, alright, and then connect there. It will automatically snap to the end. I'll actually undo. Alright, so it's all snap to the end of your line. That's a good thing about it. Alright, so if you just get it pretty close, it will do that for you. Now, so this is in fact my scale diagram that I've got. The one thing that you may want to do is you may want to measure the length of the line itself. Okay, so if I click on there and see how my line's gone to a blue, if I double click on there, it'll actually measure my length of my line there. Now, if you want to change the format of that, because it's got 5.00, I can just go in there and delete those things and put a space in there. Alright, again, if I go to my line over here, double click, sets blue, double click, it'll actually do it for me. Do the same thing again. Okay, and the same thing again. Alright, so I've now got all my lines there, my lengths. What I suggest that you do from here, the next thing is I might actually want to fill some of these things here. So I've got a paint over here and I can choose whatever design I want. So if I click on there, okay, so that's my palette. It should fill that line. For some reason it's not. We'll do that afterwards anyway. Now the other thing that I might want to measure, if I click on this thing over here, I actually might want to measure that area. Don't know why that's not working. Alright, let's just play around with this area. See how I've highlighted that triangle over here? If I go to tools, okay, you can see no, it's not there. Okay, if I right click, you can see an area there, selection. It actually works out my area for me. Alright, so when we're doing this, when we're cutting and pasting this into your Word document, you can actually check all your measurements there by simply clicking on that and right clicking and getting your area there. Alright, so again over here, if I right click, I can go area, right, and I can check what I've actually done there. Alright, click on the thing over here, area. So obviously when we're using our half AB sine C to work out the actual area, we can check to see how we've gone there. Now the other thing I'd do, the first thing I'd do is actually copy this. Alright, so probably best if we're going to copy that. Now if I want to move this around in the screen, I can just go to that hand and move it wherever I like on there. Now the thing I probably want to do is I want to copy this into a Word document. So if I do it maybe a print screen, I think it's the best way of doing it at this stage. Alright, so print screen, then go and open my Word document, say open a new one up. Alright, and then I can paste that in there. Now what I can do is if I change my layout, landscape, and I can crop that by double clicking on that icon, and then I can get rid of all my little scale things. Alright, so in terms of this diagram, so I've got this diagram, alright, and then I can make it bigger so you can see it on your diagram here. Alright, so that's how I can do my scale diagram. Now obviously the scale of it, you'll need to obviously print that out and measure the length there so you can write down what your scale is for this diagram. Right, but you've got a scale diagram which is really as big as you can fit. Now if I want to move it on the page, I have to go to make that type, and then I can maybe move that a little bit higher. Now it's really important when you're doing this is only to drag the side, the end one, so you're actually changing it in scale, so you're changing the X and Y in the right scale. If I move that, I will be stretching that horizontally or vertically, which is not a good thing to do. So you only can drag and make it bigger by using the corner one there. Alright, so we could work our scale out there. Now the next thing is we can now go and insert our little text box. Alright, so if you want to do that, you can insert your text box. You can say this angle here was 70 degrees, 70, insert a symbol, alright, degrees. Now the text box there, so if you click on there, right click, format your text box, have no fill, have no line colour. Alright, so that's your text box. I can now copy that and I can paste that wherever I want to in that particular shape. Alright, so I can do that. I could type in area equals, now well, because I've done that, it's just made the text box too big. So I can now go to my Google SketchUp. I can go and using my pointer there, right click, right, work out what my area is, and I can say it's 28.6 meters squared. So go back to my Word document, so 28.06 meters, and then make that squared. Right, so go to your home screen, you can make that a power. Right, again, so I can copy that and I can paste that over here anywhere I like. So I can have these things here, paste that again, right, move that down over here, paste it again. Alright, so I can do all that sort of stuff, and then I can just go back in there and change what the area is for the correct area using my SketchUp. Now the other thing I could do, this is my first diagram, so if I enter again, right, so this is my first page of my diagram. So the second page, what I might want to do is I might want to go to my Google SketchUp and okay. Now if I go to my measuring tool again, see how I've got that there? Right, because we have to actually do calculations. Escape, it does that, just escape, edit, undo. So I go to my line there and double click on it. Sometimes it doesn't work that good, so so make sure you click on there. Let's try another line. Right, so it's stuffed up again. Right, so and then we'll delete this line over here. If I point to that, maybe go to my pointer, delete that. So that will actually measure the length of that line over here. So what you can do is you can do that for all of these. Okay, so you go back to your line, so it goes blue. Double click on it. Okay, do the same thing, double click on it. Alright, double click on it. So that there is now your new map. This is the one where you're going to do half AB. You're going to use the cosine rule to find the length of that side over there. So what you can do is if you do a print screen, right, you could actually bring that map into here as well, paste, right, and you could now got all the measurements there which you can show how the Google SketchUp has done that as well. So again, you can crop that, the same process again, right, so make that tight, so you can actually move it around on the screen. So go to text wrap, make that tight. I can do that. Now again, remembering you can only drag the bottom corner because that then keeps everything in perspective, the horizontal and the vertical. Okay, so you can move it around. So there, that would be my second diagram, and I've also got my first diagram there. Okay, now obviously if you want to learn how to put in colour into this, if you want to, then you could do that as well. But I reckon that's a pretty good starting point. So that's an easy way of doing your scale diagrams. Keeping in mind, if I'm going to do mine, I'm going to put all my angles in here. Alright, so for this thing here, I would certainly put all my angles in each of these points here as well as in my area. It's a really nice way of formatting that. And again, you can do the same thing for your transverse survey, which is a really nice way of doing that as well. So good luck with that. Have a go at it if you want to. If you want to do it by hand, I'm not really worried. That would be okay.